And here we are back on the 10-7 show with with Tara, Goose, and myself.
Goose.
Yeah, I messed that all up, didn't I?
No, you used to saying it. You've been saying it for 2 years.
I just say it off of it's just a habit now. With Tara, Goose, and myself, we are Tyra's, what they say on the news, Tyra's on assignment today. But we are here. It is a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. It was supposed to be like real hot, but the breeze was going on. It turned out to be a real nice day. At least here in Philly, here in the Northeast. I hope it was just as nice wherever you were. But either way, welcome to the 10-7 show. And like I always like to start off the show, how y'all been?
Good. We've been good. We had a nice weekend. We went up to New York to see some family, and our goddaughter graduated. She's not our goddaughter, but she's like our niece. She graduated, so we got to celebrate with them. And one's going to high school, one's going to college.
Yeah,
sisters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was nice. It was nice to see friends and family.
Awesome. That was cool.
How was your week?
It was good. You know what I mean? It was an interesting week, I guess, to say the least. We didn't have any baseball tournaments this weekend. So I was able. I'm sorry. I was looking at something on TV and they're live, and I think a bug flew in a girl's hair, and she was like smacking herself.
She wrecked shop.
Yeah, oh man,
I'd have knocked this whole table over.
But yeah, it was cool. I actually came out of retirement today and actually played 2 games of baseball, which I wasn't necessarily expecting to do today, but it happened. And we 2 out of the 2 games we won one, so that's it's great.
Congrats!
All right, thank you very much.
You got your thing ready?
I better get something ready, right? I know I'm be hurting tomorrow. I'm be hurting tomorrow. I know that. But right now, as we always do as this show, it's usually like y'all favorite part of the show. At least that's what I like to say. Y'all favorite part of the show. It's the y'all know what it is. And of course, it's the Would You Rather segment of the show. And we have 3 Would You Rathers right now, if I'm not mistaken. We have 3 Would You Rathers. And I guess we'll go with ladies first. Tara, go ahead and I guess you can start it off.
All right, I'll go. Would you rather go back to age 5 with everything you now know, or know now everything your future self will learn? Hey, Leslie.
Is everybody turning 5 with me, or am I the only one turning 5?
It doesn't say. But now you're going back to age 5 with all the knowledge that you have right now.
I'd be the most corrupt 5-year-old ever.
I really would.
Or know everything that your future self will learn right now. How do you want to handle that?
Yeah,
I'm going back to 5. I'm going back to 5.
Me too. I'm totally going back to 5.
I'm not doing that.
You're not going back to 5?
Hell no. Listen.
Why?
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because growing up, all I wanted to be was an adult.
And now you are, and we have a mortgage payment.
That's all right, though. But I have so much more freedom as a grown man than I will as a 5-year-old. Now, you got all this knowledge, and what you going to do with it?
Yeah, that's true, because you don't have any money. It's not like you can
play.
But we're not.
Tell you to take naps.
We're not going to be 5 forever, right?
No, you're not.
Back to 5.
You're not. But you have to get to that point.
Yeah, you have to get to the age where you can invest and make money and do the right thing with your money.
But you know what I'm going to be?
Take a nap.
I'm going to be the closest thing to a child prodigy that I can be. Because I'm not saying that everything I know now I'd be a prodigy, but I'd be a pretty smart 5-year-old. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No,
I might be able to graduate from college at age 5.
Because you already know. You already been through, so you know. You going with the future?
Right.
Okay.
I'm going with the future.
Yeah, I'm going with age 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Goose.
All right.
And I'm putting money on the Oh no, wait a minute. We didn't change the year. We just changed the age. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury? One country.
One country and live in luxury.
Definitely one
I
country.
live on a shoestring budget in my own country.
I mean, like the thing about it is like it would take you not a long time, but like you could take your time going from state to state to state seeing stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like we can do that now.
Yeah, like luxury. Give me luxury.
Yeah.
Give me luxury. I don't get to live in luxury all the time, but I can live on a shoestring budget anytime.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like now.
Right. I can do that anytime.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the last would you rather live in a virtual reality where you are all powerful, or live in a real world and be able to go anywhere but not be able to interact with anyone or anything?
Oh, that's kind of lonely.
Yeah.
But if you're living in a virtual reality, you're not real.
Yeah, that question is kind of confusing now that I think about it. Like you're living in a virtual reality and you're all powerful, but that means like you're living in a video game type. Like that's kind of
that's weird.
Or a separate dimension.
It's on the Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh, Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
Only if I could go see the one
with the three.
Yeah. Yeah. I have remembered that since I was a youngin'. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of like depressing, but I'm gonna go with the real world.
Nah, I'm going with virtual reality.
But then you're not real. All right.
Like I wonder what it would be like to be all powerful.
And I'm all powerful.
Yeah, what would it be like to be all powerful in a virtual reality world? Like, are you God?
Like, do you have all the virtual reality dollars? I don't know.
That's an interesting one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with. I mean, I've lived here and I've interacted with anything and everybody, so I'll do something different. And I'll go to the virtual reality world and see what it's like to have all the power.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm guessing in virtual reality world, I guess you can't talk to anybody, like because they.
I don't know.
Well, no, you can because it's just like being
put my Oculus on.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it's just like being on.
And there's other people at the game with you. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So in this world, you all powerful. You show up to the game, everybody moves. You get courtside seats.
No, you just sold me on it with courtside seats.
Yeah.
You just sold
all
me.
right.
Well, that was Would You Rather. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm chewing on ice. You guys can put your comments in. Leslie and Sheena have already put theirs in. Let us know what you think about it. Quick programming note. Make sure that you check out all of our episodes of Would You Rather, not only on YouTube, because they're all on YouTube, but also on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. You catch all our episodes. So definitely
check them out.
Definitely check us out. All right. So now it's time for some of your letters, some of the stuff that you wrote into us. And this has become my favorite part of the show.
It's totally my favorite part of the show, but like I keep saying, like I need follow up. I need where are they now?
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
All right, you want me to take the first one, Justin? Goose said he'll take the first one, Justin.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dear 10-7, my wife and I have been married for 22 years and have had an open marriage for the past 10 years. Recently, our 19-year-old daughter was somewhere I wasn't expecting her, in a different city where we live, probably from where they live, and saw me with the woman I have been sleeping with for the past 18 months. We were in an intimate embrace, and she correctly inferred our relationship, but did not make her presence known to me. However, she confided in her mother. My wife told me our daughter saw us and now thinks I am having an affair. I asked my wife if she set the record straight about our open relationship and the fact that she was actually with her lover at the same time I was with mine.
You're nasty.
She said that she doesn't feel comfortable with our children knowing we have an open marriage. I am frustrated and angry and feel betrayed. The open marriage was something my wife and I agreed on together. I get feeling a little uncomfortable about admitting something so intimate to our children, but I think that the alternative, them thinking that I am a cheater who is cheating on their mother, is much worse. My wife says I should have been more careful and that it will blow over. I disagree. I want to tell all three of our children, 19, 17, and 15
That is
years
old
old,
enough to understand.
immediately. She has told me she'd rather put an end to the arrangement than tell them. I told her she would do, we could do both, but I was at least talking to the 19-year-old, telling her about the arrangement, and also telling her siblings if she hadn't already told them about my supposed affair. My wife doesn't like this plan. Should I go ahead with it anyway? I know my wife is trying to save the image the children have of her, but in the process, she doesn't seem to see that she is influencing the way the children see me and my relationship with them. I'd rather my children see us as sexual beings with an open marriage than see me as a cheater and their mother as a wrong party.
Yeah, I agree with the dad. So
Right.
I definitely agree with you.
That's rough.
That's a tough one. I've actually known people that have had an open marriage, and well, I shouldn't say never, but the people I know, it didn't. Those situations didn't end up good.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
But
I wonder if.
Go ahead, Tara.
No, I was gonna say, I wonder if the situation were reversed. If one of the children had seen mom with her lover, would she be so quick to be like, "Oh, well, daddy and I both," you know what I mean? So
right, she's coming out of this smelling like roses.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's she's got the ball is in her court.
She's the alleged victim.
Right.
She's
not
the alleged
victim.
Yeah. I think I mean those kids are old enough to
they definitely are.
At least be talked about. I mean, be for this. I think the kids are old enough for you to talk about this with them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
19 and 17.
Absolutely. We got a comment coming in here from Leslie. She says, be open with your kids. No one wants to know their parents' sex life details, but I'd rather know they still getting it in rather than think my parent is a cheat.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the worst.
Yeah, he definitely should go ahead with the plan. Maybe with the older two and then kind of ease it in with the 15-year-old. Just like, I guess you know your kid's maturity level. You know what they can handle. So I would definitely say something to the 19 and the 17-year-old. Like, this is what your mother and I do. You understand how sex works. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not cheating on your mother. I love your mother. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. Your mom has people like friends or whatever you call them as well. You know what I mean? Like, why I gotta look like the bad dude? Like, you know what I mean?
That's definitely what he is.
Yeah, he's definitely the bad guy in this situation.
He's not bad. This was an arrangement that they made. It's not like he was sneaking around.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah, see, that's not okay.
Like she could really throw him a bone and be like, I know all about it. He's not
right.
Yeah, definitely. And then leave it at that.
Yeah, even if she doesn't want to go into the details, she can help him out.
I know about it, this arrangement that you and your father and I had.
And it's none of your business.
Yeah, and it's none of your business. Don't need to worry about it.
No need to worry about it. And another thing too, because if they don't say anything, I kind of feel like it's gonna mess up the future relationship with their children.
It can.
Now, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know if it's daughters, they might be like, "Oh, I'm never getting married because I saw what my father did to my mother." Or if it's sons, like, "Oh, my dad was a da 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 da, so I can be a da da da." You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you don't know how it's going to affect your future relationship.
Right.
So if I were you, I would definitely have the conversation with the older ones. And then just like Justin said, just be like, your mother and I have an arrangement or whatever the case may be, but it's none of your business past that.
Right. This is the horse that's running. The mom don't want the kids to be like, mom is a freak.
No mother wants her children to think that now.
And that's the whole joint.
And you make a good point. Nobody wants to know that they mamas are free.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to know.
So
that.
I think the mom, like, I think they'll be more hurt.
Yeah.
To know that they mom
right.
nasty.
I think you're right. You make a good point there. Actually, you make a good point. You make a good point, but I do believe the mom can the mom can really save the dad here. She can save him without making herself look bad.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, sir, I wish you well, but definitely speak to your children.
Yeah.
And tell your wife that she could throw you a bone, bro.
Totally. And then follow up with us. Let us know how you make up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next one. Who's going? Do you want me to do it or?
I can do it.
Okay.
Dear 10-7, recently I left my husband of 17 years. He always had a problem being happy with just one woman, and he cheated on me multiple times. Mostly, I was able to push past it, but a couple of months ago, I learned that he slept with my only full-blooded sister 10 years ago. That was the last straw, and I filed for divorce. Since then, I started seeing a longtime close friend. He works a lot, so we haven't been able to spend too much time together in person. But we always talk on the phone every day, sometimes for 4 or 5, even 6 hours. When are y'all working? And when we were together, I felt wanted. I can see and feel the love in the way that he looks at me. We can sit around for hours just cuddling and looking into each other's eyes. I've seen things like this in the movies, but I never imagined that I'd ever feel like this in my life. I'd always disregarded the idea of soulmates, but now I truly feel that I have found mine. Although we've only been dating a couple of months, we've been friends for more than a decade. We watched each other's kids grow up. We've been there for each other through relationship issues and divorces, his and now mine. My question is, when would it be wise for us to move in with each other? Every time we're together, it's so much harder for us to say goodbye. We live pretty far apart and both have busy work schedules. Not if y'all on the phone for 6 hours a day, but anyway. So we are always stretched for time. We have discussed the possibility of living together, but agree we do not want to ruin this amazing thing we have going on by rushing. How long do we have to wait?
I'm going to say this, and it's going to get me in trouble, but I'm going to say it. Don't move in. Don't move in with them.
Really? Why?
Because it's going to change the dynamic of what y'all doing, right? So here's the thing. Like, let me go back to the letter. I'm trying to remember some of the things that were said in the letter. There are certain things in this letter that, to me, are you're enjoying the moment because of the things you're doing. You're on the phone for 4 or 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day. That's not going to happen when y'all move in together. So are you still going to feel wanted? You know what I'm saying? Are you still going to feel that want? I'm sure like the first few days, you know what I'm saying, y'all going to be all up under each other. I'm sure of that. But that's not going to last forever.
Right? Then she'll really know what his other stuff is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk 4 or 5 hours a day, but there's a lot more hours a day. You know what I mean? Like 19 more hours. So
a whole lot of them. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, don't think you're going to have him all to yourself or whatever.
Exactly. And that kind of the tone of this letter kind of sounds like that's what you're feeling, like you're going to have them all to yourself.
Like it's always going to be this way because it's this way right now.
And it's not. And I'm only saying that because I'm not saying that because, like, you know, my entire dynamic changed, even though it did. I'm saying that because in the tone of this letter, it looks like you're falling into something that is not going to be. It's not going to last. It's not going to be what you feel it is right now forever. And it seems like you might be disappointed. You had a whole situation before it was cheating on you. I'm not saying he's going to cheat on you, but I'm saying it's going to be different. And if you do move in with each other, expect it to be different. Right. Expect it to become different. Okay. And we actually going to be talking about something like that a little later on in the show, but we got a comment. We got a comment from Leslie. She said she started out complaining about her husband cheating, but she's been having an emotional affair as well. Don't risk the friendship over being newly single.
Oh yeah, like jumping from the frying pan into the fire kind of thing. Is that what you mean, Leslie? Okay.
Like a rebound.
A rebound, right.
And
okay.
she's only been seeing this dude a couple months.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything's good
So
in the
it's
first
new because you're coming out of something that wasn't great, and now you're getting into something that's new and it's fresh, and you're excited.
Right.
Because
right. You go from somebody that was cheating on you to somebody that give you a whole bunch of attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
That's a very valid point, Leslie. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more, right?
Yep. One more. Your turn.
Oh, y'all gave me the short one. Okay. That's cool. All right, here we go. Dear 10-7, recently I was using my mom's iPad with her permission when she must have accidentally synced all her devices or something because all of her texts started popping on the screen. That's how I found out she was having an affair with a woman. As soon as I realized what I was reading, I shut the iPad down, but I still saw enough and I don't know what to do. I feel like my dad should know, but I don't know if it's my place for me to tell him or if I can tell him without outing my mom. I don't want to out anyone, no matter who they are, but I feel like I'm part of the secret if I keep this from him. I obviously don't want my parents to get a divorce either. I don't want to cause it if it does happen. What's the best way to approach this that won't cause any harm? I'll tell you the best way to approach it without causing any harm. Keep your mouth shut.
Right.
That's probably the best way without causing harm. But I'm sure there are better suggestions.
It's almost like we were saying with the first guy. Like,
yeah,
you don't know. The dad may already know that the mom,
exactly,
that Miss Betty is the mom's best friend. You know what I mean? So
I mean, it could be a whole situation. It could be a a menage a three,
or it could be if she were to say something to mom. She was like, Mom, listen, see, this is what happens when the elderly get on iPads and stuff. She could be like, Mom, I was on your iPad. Remember, you let me use it, and I saw stuff from Miss Betty on there that looked a little strange, Mom.
Exactly. What's up, Miss Betty, Mom?
I mean, like, she could do it like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you say something to somebody, it should probably be your mom. Like, look, I saw that.
Definitely. I wouldn't take it to the dad.
Nah.
Don't take it to the dad.
Nah.
You don't know what's going to happen. Take it to the dad.
No, don't take it. And then, like you said, you don't want to out anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think your best way to approach it is to talk to your mother.
If you're going to say anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
But I know it's going to eat you up. Your mom going to be laughing and joking with your dad, and you're going to be like...
Whatever.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's gonna be tough for you, but yeah, I wouldn't bring it to your dad.
Nah.
And I probably will only believe half of what your mom said too when you bring it to her.
Oh yeah.
Probably only about half. That's how I feel about it. But
is it a storm?
What you say?
No.
Oh, the wind like picked up a lot. Like this second.
Oh.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. Well, that was your letters, your situations. They were pretty good.
Yeah,
good.
They are getting good.
These last couple of weeks they've been juicy as hell. I'm ready to write a book.
Hey,
put all of our 10 into a book.
What you can do, of course, you can email us at 107show@gmail.com and send us your situation, and we'll give you advice, we'll comment on it, suggest on it, and all like that.
We'll make
and
funny
of course,
faces
we'll keep you. Yeah, we'll make funny faces about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we find something funny in there, we're going to exploit it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we keep you anonymous. So
unless you name names, we don't name names unless you name names.
Right, exactly. So don't name names because we don't want to have to try to make up a different name.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was the Dear 10-7 portion of the show. Now it's time to talk about marriages, right? And and as we were talking earlier with one of the letters, in the beginning everything is Sweet, right? But over time, things happen, things change, people change, relationships change, feelings change, whatever the case may be. And we're going to talk about that because I know some people that have gone through changes in their marriages. And, let's talk about why that happened. So, Tara, I'm picking my feet up and giving you the floor.
Yep. So, Justin, I want to start off by saying that this was said to me, and I've said it to other people. Throughout your marriage, you're going to be married to more than one person. You know what I mean by that?
I'm Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Do I know what you mean by that?
Right.
No.
So
I'm still young in this whole marriage thing.
Right. Okay. So here's a for instance.
But can I stop you before that?
Yeah. What?
So there's that the whole inside joke that our neighbor is my my other wife. Is that like what you mean?
No.
Okay. Oh, I'm scared.
No, it's not bad. I mean that we all evolve, we all change, right? So the person you are when you first marry your spouse is not necessarily the person you're going to be 20 years from now. That's weird. I'm sorry. It's not the person you're going to be or not. Really? Marriage is whack.
He said sorry for my outburst.
You take your Ritalin before you start commenting. Like I always say to people, like when I first met Goose, I didn't drive. He took me everywhere. Like I wasn't really like independent. I went from my parents' house to my husband's house. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not the same person at 20 or 47, almost 47 in 2 weeks that I was at 22. So your likes are going to change. Your hobbies are going to change. Okay, you're going to change. So throughout your marriage, you're going to change. You're going to be married to more than one person.
Right.
You understand now what I'm saying?
Now I understand. You're married to the same person, but they change. That person changes, and they're a different person.
As well as you. Yep, as well as you.
Absolutely.
To the point where sometimes you be like, I like the other person.
Bring that person back.
When you come back downstairs, I want that person.
Bring that person back down. Yes. So, all right. So, of course,
I can definitely see that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, it doesn't take long to see it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
The first couple years, you're like, oh yeah, this is good, this is blissful. And then life happens, and careers change, and children come, and illnesses happen. So yeah, all of that. All right. So how and why do marriages change over time? Of course, I have notes. Of course. So it says most marriages begin as the beautiful union of two people who have confessed their unwavering love for each other over a lifetime. Allegedly. This is the foundation of a strong relationship and is often expected to be the primary source of strength and support for both people. The amount of time a marriage lasts varies, as we all know that. Mm-hmm. Some couples are married for a few weeks, like the Kardashians, months, years, or others for a lifetime. Regardless of how long a marriage lasts, change is, what is that word?
Inexorable.
Okay, I don't know what that means, so we're going to have to Google it. There are several patterns of change, or several patterns of courses of change that take place over the years. The most familiar or common types are physical, because as you get older, you could possibly gain weight. You might, I'm not saying that you aren't attracted to your spouse anymore, but some men are like, oh,
it ain't the same
you
body.
Picked up a couple LBs. We have a visitor. Sit down. Okay, so physical, but beyond that, what else can change? The other factors are, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm skipping ahead. Changes impact marriage in several ways. Some people refuse to accept change, which that's dumb, because when you say for better or for worse, and I do, it's kind of like, I do, not I'll try. That is why it's difficult for some marriages to work. It's common for couples to become concerned with fear of the unknown when the marriage begins to go through unexpected changes. So basically this article is saying, be prepared. Kind of like what I told you in the beginning. You're going to be married to more than one person throughout your marriage. So how do marriages change over time? So these are this is not me writing this. This is just me reading you this article. 3 relationship stages couples experience, and most marriages go through at least 3 distinct changes. One is romantic love. Then stop me if you have a question. disillusionment and distraction. It's 2. And 3, dissolution. What is that? Dissolution. Okay. Adjustment with resignation or adjustment with contentment. So you either conform and just like, whatever, I'm just going to stay here, or you're out. You understand what I mean? Conform or rebel.
Can we talk about the 3 relationship stages?
Yeah.
Briefly. So the romantic love, like, I'm wondering, are the stages like the first stage? Well, I see what stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, but it's romantic love like early on.
It's like the honeymoon.
It's the honeymoon period.
Right,
it's the first couple years before you get to the 7-year itch.
So basically, the disillusionment and distraction. What? Give me an example of that.
Okay. It's right here. Yeah. So stage 2, disillusionment and distraction, unfolds when couples become disillusioned with the reality that it takes hard work to make a marriage work and to make families happy and stable. So distractions such as balancing school, work, finances, children, and extracurricular activities can decrease the time couples have to spend with each other to communicate and nurture their marital friendship. What are you going to say? Okay. Do you understand what that means? Just what I mean by that, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did have a question while I was reading it, and then it totally went out of my head.
That's my fault. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's the first sentence. When couples become disillusioned with the reality that it's hard work to make a marriage work. But I know you heard that before you got married. I know we heard it. People were like, you got to put work into this. Like, it's not.
But I feel like people hear that, but they don't understand it. Like, what is the hard work? Because when you think about, I guess, when you think about being in a relationship with somebody, like how hard we really working to stay in that relationship. Like most people probably weren't working extremely hard, right? But then when you get to a marriage and like, it's hard work, then you don't. If you haven't put in like hard work beforehand, like you don't really understand what the hard work is. But people got to understand, like life happens, like you said earlier, Tara. Life happens, and that's when the hard work comes in.
But I think the hard work really starts coming in when people have to make the decision to put someone else before themselves. You dig what I'm saying? Because when you're single, you're used to me. It's all about me. I do this, I do that. But now
you have this partner that you're tethered to.
Right.
Then you throw in some kids that you're tethered to.
Yeah.
So
So I think once you come to the understanding that, sometimes you have to, you can't make yourself the priority, I think everything else becomes easy.
Yeah, probably.
I like that. Yeah. All right. And then the third stage inevitably occurs as couples contemplate whether or not they would like their marriage to continue. It's really sad. The reality is that more than 40% of couples eventually decide to dissolve their marital union.
That's the final boss.
Yep. The rest decide to adjust to marriage with contentment or resignation. So the latter, did I have this all wrong?
No, it's like cheaper to keep it type deal. I just put up with whatever.
Yeah. The latter resigning themselves to the fact that their marriage probably isn't going to get any better. However, a growing number of married couples have decided to work on their marital friendship by gaining new relationships. Like how? Knowledge and skills. Like what? Like open relationships?
That's the future 10-7.
These couples tend to adjust to the realities of long-term marriage with commitment. In fact, 2 independent statewide studies, and this was done by the University of Florida, found that the people surveyed who considered their marriage to be in serious trouble at some point faced stage 3. More than 90% said they were glad that they were still together. So see, it worked out. Yeah. Do you remember a couple weeks ago, somebody wrote into us and said that they're married and then they have friends who had gotten divorced, but then the wife said to the wife, I wish we hadn't gotten divorced. And then the husband said to the husband, I wish we hadn't gotten a divorce. And they were trying to figure out if they should say something to each other. Do you remember that letter?
Yeah.
that almost like it fits into this mold. Like the people that decided to stay in the marriage are glad that they did.
Yeah, and the overwhelming majority of
90%. So what does this all mean? It means that there are many things that we can do as couples to improve our marital friendships. It also means that we're more likely to be glad that we're still together if we are willing to work on our marriage and gain new relationship knowledge and skills.
Yeah, I feel like people, and I don't know this. This is just a personal opinion. I feel like there are there's a good amount of divorced couples that at maybe a few years after they get divorced or sometime after they get divorced, they think back on it and think like, I probably could have stuck that out and worked through it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not in the infidelity realm. A lot of people can't get over infidelities. I get that. But if it's I don't know, financial or whatever the case may be, sometimes I feel like people later on down the line, like we probably could have stuck that out. Like it was a moment that I just felt like wasn't going away. Like some people are unhappy for a long time, but sometimes it's a moment that you feel like it's not going to go away, and you feel like you getting out is the best option. And
do you remember a couple years ago we have a friend's father. So this man is in his late 60s. Her mom and dad have been divorced for many, many years. But I remember him saying to Goose and I that no matter what, we should always stick it out because he wished he had done that with his first wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But see, because what you realize, when you had the bumps in the roads and everything is crazy, and everything is crazy, you're one age and you ready to cut shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But then you leave and you mature and you have other experiences. And then you look back and you be like,
I could have stuck it out.
I was petty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course, this isn't all situations. This is just some situations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And I think that's why people who choose to stick it out, it's a high percentage of those that stay together because then you grow together, you mature together. You know what I mean? You have those experiences together.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, it's just sad to see that happen the way it does sometimes. But go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
I was trying to think. I can't remember what the percentage of what the divorce rate is in this country. Do you remember?
Oh, I forget.
It was high, but it wasn't crazy high. It was once upon a time.
It was 50%, right?
But even though, do you remember? Like it was like 95% of women, as the pandemic is going away.
Oh, yeah.
Like during the pandemic, like 95% of women had contacted attorneys to find out how they can get divorced.
You know what? I missed
being in the house with this.
You saying pandemic
the last 18 months? Like, I went out.
Yeah.
So that number's probably gonna go up again.
You know what's funny in our house, the pandemic, like everybody had to spend more time together, but like because our schedules were so opposite. Like when she was working, I was home. When I was home, she was working.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right? Well, y'all know what I'm trying to say.
When you were asleep, she's working, and when you're working, she's asleep. Right.
Exactly. So it was like we kind of, in a sense, had to learn how to coexist during this pandemic. You know what I mean? I had to, I tread lightly when I walk around at night while I'm working because I don't want to make noise. You know what I mean? That's not always necessarily the case. I mean, she tries to, but sometimes she gets excited with something that might be on TV, a Marvel movie, and she'll turn it up and stuff will start exploding. And I wake up like, who the hell is bombing us? What's going on?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, it forced us to be together. You know what I mean? And a lot of couples forced them to be together and all the time. You know what I mean? It just, it's a crazy thing, but I can understand. I can see that the divorce rate would have been higher pandemic wise because some people don't even know how to be with their spouse.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, because if you think about it, it's only 24 hours in a day. So if you work 8 hours and you sleep close to 8 hours, that's only going to leave you 8 hours for activities.
Exactly.
And then only a percentage of that is going to be spent with your spouse because everybody has their own personal hobbies and things of that nature.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
We got a comment here from, I'm hoping I say your name correctly. I'm sorry. Lucrezia. She says, I left my first marriage because there was no growth and I didn't level up until I remarried and knew what I wanted. And my current mate was on the same page.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing. Like, if you're going to divorce somebody, you got to level up in your next, not just to stick it to your ex, but you got to level up. You know what I mean? Like, there's no going backwards. There's no lateral movement. You have to level up.
Yeah.
You have to, because if you're not, you're going to be in the same situation.
That's right. Yep.
Oh.
Well, there are some steps, and we can wrap it up with this. But it says the most important thing you can do in a marriage to avoid the change. Wait. The most important thing you can do in a marriage to avoid the change is to prepare for it before you get married. Which, how many people do that?
Yeah, because how do you know what
University of Florida, who wrote this article? How many people do that?
Like,
Florida. Yeah, Florida.
That's
say less.
Florida.
In the perfect world type.
That is right. Yep. So it says most couples become consumed with the idea of marriage and how it was in the beginning. So it's like you're almost like chasing a dragon. You're trying to keep that high, right? This prevents them from realizing that it requires work to make it happen. So these are just a few steps that you can take. Talk to your spouse, right? Marriages are built on love, trust, and open communication. Talk to your spouse about the things that happen throughout your day and anything that concerns you. Your mate should be the first person you turn to when something is bothering you. You should be able to talk about anything that comes to mind. This should be done even when there are no big concerns in life. So what? Like, oh, I tasted new Doritos today, hon.
Yeah.
Like that.
So that's like however many episodes back that was when Justin and Tyra were talking about the daily check-in thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys do the daily check-in. You still do the daily check-in? Well, not really, because you're in the same house.
I don't even know if we started the daily check-in.
But it's something similar to that.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a pressing issue, then you have a conversation. But if everything all good, then it's just a check-in. Like, hey, babe, how's everything?
Yeah.
Right.
But
we had. It's
when
actually
I was working in the office. I checked in. You never did.
I like the way she said that.
I think you was all right.
I never did. Ours was like a weekly thing, and the funny thing is, like, here, let me tell you why I can't do stuff like that, because I'm the type of person, like, if something bothers me, it bothers me for the moment, and I get over it, and I forget about it.
Okay.
So, like, if she were to do something that bothers me, or she does something that bothers me, and then let's see, it happens on a Tuesday or even a Thursday, Saturday night we have our weekly check-in, I'm not even gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, it's good, babe.
Yeah, everything good.
What you want to eat?
Exactly. So, you know, it's just for, like, daily would probably be better. But then every day you're at, like, you know, you're saying, hey, you know, everything good, everything good, and it just kind of gets mundane then, because it's redundant,
like, it's just something. It's just doing it to say you did it.
Yeah,
it's equivalent to a woman asking a man, "What are you thinking about?"
Really?
You don't want to know.
You equated it to that, for real?
Yes,
that's where you went.
Absolutely, you don't want to know.
How?
You know, I went down this road before in the show, haven't I?
You have.
Because I'll do it again. I will do it again.
No, it's fine. Never mind. Forget I asked.
Okay. I was thinking about Antarctica. Yes, I was. For no reason
like,
whatsoever.
Say that though. Like, you know what I mean? Why can't you say that? Why can't you be like, I was just thinking about why it's cold in Greenland and cold in Iceland and green. How does it go? It's cold in Greenland and green in Iceland. You could say that.
You could say that, but
if that's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking about it at the time. I mean, there was like one time I was like, okay, Antarctica. Does Antarctica have cities, capitals? And like, how do you just explain just like that's what you randomly staring off into space thinking about? Like, you know, some things you just say I'm nothing. Like, you can't explain that.
Right, because you're like, well,
because
what
the
made
next
your mind
question,
go there? Right.
The next question is going to, yeah, exactly. Next question is, well, why are you thinking about that? I really can't tell you.
I don't know. I saw a commercial.
I don't know. I felt a breeze and it made me think of Antarctica. I don't know.
Right.
I just can't. I couldn't tell you. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because
because you're already down it by yourself.
Exactly. And I don't need to pull you down there with me because we won't be able to get out.
All right, here are another couple tips so we can wrap it up. Be honest with your spouse. Honesty is the foundation of trust. Blah, blah, blah. Always tell your spouse the truth, even when it's uncomfortable.
Y'all see what I deal with?
This is especially important for couples who have dealt with infidelity or other types of betrayal in the marriage. Most importantly, be honest without having to be asked. Okay, that makes sense. Your mate will appreciate you being forthcoming without them having to pry or plead the truth out of you. I don't know about that. Develop a plan to address and overcome the changes. It does or doesn't help to avoid the changes that you notice happening in your marriage. See a marriage counselor. Now, we have a very good friend who is a marriage counselor. But in my opinion, and I could be wrong because we've never been to counseling, we know other couples who have gone to counseling and almost immediately got divorced.
Yeah.
So
That's not
I'm
funny,
kinda
but
like
it's
anti-marriage counseling.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like,
Chuck.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they went to counseling and found out that together
Yeah.
they're terrible.
Yeah, the counselor was like, you two
We'd be happier separate.
Yeah.
That's
All
the
right.
situation sometimes.
Accept the change. Sometimes change is positive. Marriages grow and the people in the relationship grow and change also. It is important to remember that growth can be successfully accommodated if both parties are willing to grow into the change that has occurred. Finding a happy place is the best way to maintain a strong marriage. You can also enjoy change and the happiness that accompanies it. Also, this one last also, although change can be difficult at first, it's inevitable in most marriages. I would say in all marriages. Perspective may change, level of attraction may change, and other attributes may change as well. Couples should prepare themselves for change and anticipate the best approach to make these changes easier to adjust to. Initially, I think, like in the beginning, like we were saying, you can't go into it like, yeah, this is going to change, and I think you realize within your marriage, a change is coming or change is going to happen, and you adjust when you're in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
But see, a lot of times, like say, if you in it and you in it to win it, the change is fluid for you.
yeah, right.
You see where things need to be changed, things can't be done the same way, and so you adjust.
Okay.
Yep.
I can see that.
That's all I got on that, Justin.
Treat it like Clubhouse. I'm done speaking.
Was that what they do? I've got on there one time and I couldn't make out anything.
It's so weird. It's some people do it, some people don't. I'm Justin. I'm done speaking. Like, that's so weird. But anyway.
Oh my God.
So that's how everybody knows.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to know. Man, the whole change is inevitable. Like,
it is.
Even with your friends. Right. Yeah. Even with your friends, like you change as you grow up. Like I'm cool with everybody I've always been cool with, but we're not as tight as we used to be because people grow and go their separate ways and get into different things.
Right.
To
prepare for the change is kind of like it almost seems impossible.
But see, this is the thing. And them saying prepare for the change. How do you prepare for something you don't know
know is coming? Exactly. That's what I was getting to. Like, how can you prepare for something that you don't know what the change is?
You can get your mind right and say, listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to approach all changes with an open mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could do that. That's one way to prepare, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the saying. It's like the saying goes. What was it? Was it Muhammad Ali that said it? There was plenty of people that said it. You know, if you think the same way that you did 20 years ago, or if you're 45 and you think the same way you did when you're 25, then you've wasted 20 years.
Yeah,
something like
it's true.
I mean, if you don't change, if you don't grow, if you don't, figure out some other things about life. Like I know people that I could probably say haven't changed over the last 20 or so years.
That's interesting.
I know. And I can't involve
understand
myself.
it. Yeah, I don't understand that. How do you not evolve? How do you not grow as an individual? How do you not?
Because some people don't want to. Some people aren't adventurous. Some people they're like, I'm good where I'm at. I go to work, I come home, I have a tuna sandwich for lunch. I have a ham sandwich for dinner, and that's what
I live in my mom's basement.
But if you see the world the same way you did 20 years ago, you got to get out your mama's basement.
Yeah.
And have a ham sandwich one time. Turkey. Something like that.
Yep.
Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Get ready to wrap it up. He said stop talking about. I wasn't talking about you. I don't even know what I might have said, but I'm not sure what he might have said, but I wasn't talking about you. I guess we're gonna wrap it up now and give our final thoughts. I know Tara has a final thought because she put it in her notes and I saw her notes. So I'll go first.
Okay.
I never go first. So I'll go first because last week, I'm not even gonna go there. But my final thought is it's not really a thought. It's a thank you and it's some. Yesterday I was invited to an event by RDOT with Blue Demon Athletics in Havre de Grace, Maryland, where there was an unveiling of a statue of Ernest Burke, who was a Negro League pitcher. And I was fortunate enough to be introduced to quite a few Negro Leaguers that were still living. And at this event, I'll be posting a picture on social media after the show. One in particular being Pedro Sierra. And I actually had the opportunity. We were walking to their car, like we were just walking down the road having conversation. Like it wasn't just like hey, how you doing? Great to meet you. Honor, you're great. We were just having regular conversation, walking down the road with these these legendary people in my mind, legends. I have a great respect for those that have come before me, and I know that had they not done what they did, I probably wouldn't be coaching and playing baseball today. So I thank you for inviting me to the event. I appreciate it. And I can't wait for the next one. That's my final thought.
Nice. That's
I'm
awesome.
done speaking.
You're done speaking. So mine is all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything, and it's a terrible thing to waste. What we think, we become. I'm done speaking. Goose would like to reclaim his time.
So my final thought is just going to be, I'm just going to reiterate some of the things that I said before. So what I said about change, approaching it being open-minded and trying to be fluid with change, is not just for marriage. It's for any change that may occur to you in your life. I believe when you're not open-minded, you close off some options. So that's why I say be open-minded. It's nothing just to hear certain situations or people or ideas out. So be open-minded, try to be fluid, and try not to sweat it. Don't stress it.
Yeah, I guess it's already written.
I like it. Excuse me. Well, with all that being said, wait a minute, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Here's RDOT's final thought. My final thought: why do we park in the driveway and drive on the parkway? We got to do better.
Ryan?
Hey, Ryan, I got another one for you. Why is there Braille on the drive-up Mac machine?
That's a very good question.
There on a drive-up?
Yeah, because they're all the same. Driving ones are just low. I know the answer, but it make you think.
It does make you think. And there was a time when if you went to like a fast food spot and you needed the the Braille menu. They told you to ask for the Braille menu.
Yeah.
On the sign.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but yikes.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for this edition of the 10-7 show. We appreciate all of y'all for being with us, all your comments and your suggestions and all that. Like I said before, if you want to have your situation read out loud and advised upon and suggested upon, just email us at 107show@gmail.com. Of course, you will stay anonymous. We're not going to put your business out there and your name. We're not going to do that. All right. And with all that being said, hey, don't forget to join our text community. Text us at 215-48. I should know this by now. I didn't say the number 100 times. 486-0335. I forgot one number. 215-486-0335. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the 10-7 show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And make sure you subscribe or follow or whatever it is, the New Twist Radio, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. With that being said, we'll talk to y'all next week. Well, maybe not next week.
Not next week.
But the week after.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to y'all soon. All right. Y'all take care.
Peace, y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Love y'all for loving us.